Hey everyone, I'm Sophia Jones of Royal Occasions Inc. and welcome to Season 2 of the Wedding and Beyond podcast. Today we will be catching up with Stephen and Brittany Gaskins, our very first guests from Season 1, to get an update on married life and how they're dealing with being in quarantine during the COVID-19 pandemic. So without further ado, welcome Stephen and Brittany. How are you guys doing?
Great, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. This is kind of different, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So how's it been? How have you guys been coping with COVID-19, being in quarantine, working from home?
Soon as I make bail, I'm going all the places. As soon as they let me out.
Why are you going to jail? Why you got to make bail?
Because we locked up right now. As soon as I get out.
Well, it should be soon for us. It should be soon for Broward is what they're saying, right?
I'm going to be at places and I don't even know why I'm there.
Just to get out.
Just to get out.
Have you really been observing quarantine though? Like have you guys been staying at home and social distancing and all of that?
For the most part, only people we've seen is family. And that's about it. We've been staying home. The only places we go to is the grocery store or anything like that.
Or to our parents'
house. But that's about it.
That's good. And everybody in the family is good. Everybody's been healthy and staying safe. Awesome. That's awesome. But I'm sure it's testing your marriage more than you ever thought it could, right?
Praise the Lord.
That's interesting because, you scroll on social media and they have all these memes, checking on the married couples, how y'all doing in quarantine. But it hasn't been that way for us. It's been pretty good. Like the first month we were in quarantine, it was very stressful because we wasn't used to. We're used to going out things, but we just started putting our heads together and figuring out things to do now. We cook more together.
That's good.
Prior to the quarantine, we have our new daughter. So we have a 19-year-old staying with us. So that's been with that. So it's been good for us. I mean, we do have those days where it's like, okay, you're in my space, so he'll go in the room, I'm in the living room. But other than that, it's been pretty good for us. It hasn't been stressful.
Well, that's good. That's good. So, and you're both working from home, right?
Yeah.
Right. So how do you balance, it's one thing when you have to go to an office, right? And then come home, because you can leave the office and come home. But have you guys been able to separate work when it's 5 o'clock or whatever time you stop working and just concentrate on you guys, on married life, being husband and wife, or does it not make a big difference for you?
Well, with the work that I do, it's pretty flexible. So I'm able to stop in between my day, I need to tend to something that's personal, or, if it's I need a moment and it's okay, hey, I'm taking a lunch break. Let's go for a bike ride. So it's been really good for me. I'm actually enjoying working from home.
Good.
I feel like it's better for me now because I work in Miami and I work 11 to 7. So I'm normally out of the house by 9 and I'm getting home, 8 and 9. So we really didn't have that time to spend together with me traveling 2 hours back. So it's been better for me now since I've been home.
Me being a creative, my life is on a computer all the time. So it's not very much of a change for me because, I've already been at home. My office was already at home.
Right.
It's not much of a change. Like I say, the only change is being in the same space. If she's trying to work in the room while I'm trying to work, because her job has to do with, a lot of conference calls and stuff like that. Sometimes that can get distracting. But other than that, it's been pretty good.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, it sounds like you guys have adjusted to it really well, and so that's a good thing. But, it's been 2 years. You guys just celebrated your second anniversary.
Yes.
Yeah, right? Can you believe it's been 2 years already? I'm sure that was different celebrating at home, probably a lot different than you would have planned to have celebrated your second anniversary.
I believe it was just more relaxed. We relaxed more. We took off time and just laid in the bed, watching TV, eating.
Mm-hmm.
That's been my new hobby, eating.
I think a lot of people have that hobby after this. We're all gonna need the gym when this is done.
I eat 6 times a day, but it sure isn't healthy food. But yeah, we just made it a relaxed day. We chilled out for the most part.
Yeah, I had a really stressful day the day before our anniversary with work because I was on call. So on our anniversary day, we had breakfast and I said, the best gift for me is to sleep. I just want to sleep the rest of the day. And that's what I relaxed. I woke up, had something to eat, got back in the bed. Like I literally stayed in the bed the whole day and that was great.
Yeah. Well, I spent your anniversary reliving some of the memories on through your pictures. Like that was the party of all parties. I'm sorry that everybody still talks about that party. So let's just go back to that day. Hindsight being 2020, is there anything that you guys would have changed about that day at all? 2 years later, looking back.
He probably would have wanted me to be on time.
I'm sure he would have wanted that. I wanted you to be on time.
That probably would have been.
And it's so crazy because leading up to the wedding, that's what I had like terrible nightmares about me being late. Mm-hmm. Like I so badly wanted to be on time. And I thought we were going to be on time to let,
things happen, right? Life
happens.
Yeah. But other than that, I think, that day it was a great day. The weather ended up being perfect. We were threatened with weather earlier in the day. Your guests had a great time. You guys married the loves of your lives. So it turned out to be a great day and as perfect as a perfect can be. Brittany, you and I had this conversation the other day about all of the couples that were planning to be married, say, since March through now, even into summer. And they're having to either alter their wedding date, postpone their weddings. Some people have canceled. So with that in mind, could you guys imagine having to plan your wedding now?
I couldn't.
No, I couldn't.
Like that was one of the biggest days of our lives. Like I look forward to that day, and like my heart just goes out to everyone, that's in that process now that has to reschedule, cancel. Like I couldn't imagine. Like I was talking to, like you said, we were talking about it, and I don't know what decision I would have had in my discussion with Stephen. I don't know if I would have been okay with, going to the courthouse. And I know it's about our love and our union, but, for so long you plan, like we literally planned our wedding for a whole year for the time to come. And it's like, yeah. And I understand it's out of our control with the COVID-19 and everything. And then you risk family members traveling and everything, but I just don't know. Like, I would have been completely devastated, devastated.
And I'm sure there are a lot of brides right now that are somewhat devastated. But like I said to you, and at the end of the day, if being married is most important to you, then there's a way to go about it and still have that marriage ceremony now, making it special, and maybe leave the party for a little bit later. So there are different ways people are doing it. I must say during this time, it's the creativity that's out there on, virtual weddings, parties, graduations, drive-by baby showers, all of that stuff. But it makes us, I think, appreciate the ones that we have in our life. I think that's what we should all be doing, honestly. It's like, it makes us prioritize what's most important, the things that are most important, and make sure that we express our love and care for our loved ones on a daily basis, because tomorrow's not promised to any of us, Yep. So
I know the thing is always, when things happen that, just give it time, it'll get better.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's devastating what's, not being able to do that right now.
Yeah.
But 2 months when you don't have that wedding bill,
yeah.
It's gonna make everything a little
A
easier.
little better.
Okay, when we don't have that wedding bill.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna be
There's,
all right.
you can always celebrate. I think we should always celebrate. Every day that we're given, it's a day to celebrate. Every day that we're alive and healthy, it's a day to celebrate. But when we have milestones, it's not just weddings that's being affected. It's baby showers, it's graduations, it's all of that. Celebrations are important. And when we have the opportunity to do it, no matter how big or small it is, I think we should take that opportunity and celebrate our loved ones and the life that we've been given, and not wait. I don't think we should always wait to do something grand, because it doesn't have to be. And I think that's what this time is proving to us, that it doesn't always have to be grand, and we celebrate the smallest, the small moments. But I want to talk to you guys right now and segue into just talking about how the last 2 years have been as you guys have grown in your marriage and gotten to know each other, and the adjustments and stuff that you guys have had to make as being a couple. It's a lot different when you're single, and you guys had never lived together. So you were coming together as one and actually living together for the first time. So over the last 2 years, for both of you, what would you say was the biggest adjustment?
I would say for me is just allowing him to be who he is, because a lot of times we have expectations for people, how we want them to move, how we want them to respond, but just giving him that freedom to be who he is, allow God to do the work in him. And that's pretty much been the biggest adjustment for me. Like, because a lot of times it's like, for instance, around the home, I have a certain way I want things to be done, but it's like, I'm always on top of him, like, no, you did that wrong. Then he's going to be like, you know what? Then what's the purpose of me doing it? If
Right.
you do it, you're going to tell me I did it wrong, or it has to be the way that you want it to be. So just giving him that freedom to just be who he is and go about things that way.
And for you, Stephen?
Yeah, I think the beginning part of the first year, because of those changes of never living together and things like that, was a bit challenging, because like you say, you have two people from two different walks of life coming together, and it's like, boom, you guys live together now.
Right.
But I think we hit a stride to where we don't we get along much better now, to where it's not where you're going to be mad at somebody for the rest of the day or 2 days or whatever, because they didn't do something the way you thought they should do. I think we've hit a good little stride to where we get along and appreciate each other, and we're more understanding. So I think the biggest part for me is just now we have better understanding. And we're able to, coexist better with the personal things that we have, that we like, the personal things that we like. We're able to coexist a little better.
How do you handle when you have disagreements? Like, what is your approach to reconciling or handling disagreements? Because I'm sure you've had that. Especially.
Well, I'm always the first to say sorry.
Oh, is that true, Brittany?
Yeah.
Is he always the first to say sorry?
No. Nope.
It's 50-50.
More like 95-5. You know what I'm saying? I'm usually always the we have a disagreement or something like that. The Holy Spirit always messes with me. I don't know if it's first, but more enough to be like, I don't care if you was right or wrong, go say sorry. Or, try to, have a conversation or do something. And I'll be like, no, she was wrong. I ain't doing that. Like, but, I'm always giving in to be like, okay, let's try to resolve whatever the issue is.
Brittany, you don't like to say sorry?
That's not true.
I'm asking.
It's true, but that's not my truth.
Oh, so what's your truth?
I think it's 50-50, give and take.
It's 50-50.
Yeah.
Has that been an adjustment, though, having to say you're sorry even though you feel you're not at fault?
Yes.
Because that's a bigger picture thing, because you know, when you're courting or dating or whatever you are, you get mad at somebody, you get aggravated with somebody, you can go home.
Right.
You know,
right.
You don't gotta answer your phone and you don't gotta deal with
Right.
this person for a little while until you're ready to deal with them. But when you're married, you gotta sleep next to this person every day, and see this person all the time. So it's a big adjustment, and it's just better to get, whether you're right or wrong, get that stuff out of the way early. Like the Bible say, go to sleep, let go to bed angry,
Right.
that. It's better to let that stuff go and try to reconcile as fast as possible, because you live together. What are you gonna do? You're gonna not talk forever? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's good. But speaking of courting, do you guys still like plan date nights? Or do you still do the things that you did before you got married? Like when you were trying to woo her?
Yeah, I could say it have slowed down some, and then especially with, once work and bills and all other kind of stuff jumped in, that it has slowed down some, especially with this pandemic stuff. But yeah, that's something we need to work on more, doing more getting out, because now we both be like, I'm staying home. Like
I'm tired.
I feel like going, like get dressed and go somewhere. Like, nah, like put on a movie, cook some food, and we be done staying home.
But that could be date night. You don't have to go out to have a date night.
No.
I don't think it's more so of the planning, because we plan the things, but
Right.
it's like, yeah, we just want to stay home.
That's not,
Right.
It's like, oh, we going down, we finna go here, we going in here. The day come, we look at each other and be like, nah, cause it's over.
But again, there's nothing wrong with staying home. You don't always have to go out. But I think it's great for couples to not forget. I think that's when marriages start to get into trouble, is when they forget the things that they used to do whilst they were dating. And we get busy with life, but sometimes we still have to make that priority. And you guys don't have kids yet, so it gets even harder when you have kids too.
We have a kid.
Well, you have a big kid, right?
A big kid, a big 19-year-old kid.
How has that been? How has that changed your relationship in any way?
I wouldn't say it changed our relationship, but it's
she's older. She's not a little child that you have to take care of on a regular, every 5 minutes. But has that? Oh, really? I'm missing something.
You jump straight into the teenage issues.
Yeah.
But it's so funny, like, just watching him, and when he talks to her, like one time she missed curfew and he woke up like in the middle of the night and rushed to Walmart and put a chain on the door. It's just funny.
Father Gaskins. It gives you a different perspective, does it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So over the last 2 years, with you guys being together, coming together as one, do you set goals that are for you as a couple, for you as a family, or do you guys still work on individual, or do you still have individual goals?
I think it's both, because we both have careers.
Right.
And so I have things that I want to do in my career. She has things that she wants to do in her career. And then as a family, we have goals of, hey, we're pressing toward, the next step for us is buying a house. We're pressing toward, working on, the things that we need to work on for buying a house, the credits, the making sure that all our stuff is in order and we can, purchase a home. So I honestly believe it's both.
It's both.
Yeah, I don't think you should have just one. I think having just one can be dangerous, if you don't have, because I used to tell Brittany all the time, find your hobby. Find you something that you like, because if you're only focused on one thing, then you have no relief from it. times get hard or when it gets overwhelming or something like that. So I believe you always need something personal that you can attach to as well.
Okay. I think that's great advice. You agree, Brittany? Yeah. Okay. I'm just asking. Is there anything now that you guys think back to, or any advice you would give to somebody who's planning to be married? Something that you guys might have wish you would have thought about before getting married?
I think therapy is very important. And, we did premarital counseling, but I wish we would have done it longer because, like we said, we had lived with each other.
Right.
A lot of things that most couples are doing now or have done, we didn't do it, And so when we first moved in with each other, like our first couple of months of marriage were really hard because it was like you never live with each other. You don't know how the other person operates or move, and you move in with each other, and it's like, I don't like this. I don't. Who is this person? I don't know this person.
Do you think that therapy, though, would have revealed some of that prior to living together?
I think that marriage counseling should go a little bit deeper in everyday life versus like big ticket items. Like, do you believe in hitting, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, big, like, I think because it's the little, like, it's the little things that are different that causes the friction. It's not so much of a big issue. It's the fact that you like
clutter,
or like you want something done right now at this second, as soon as I say it, and versus the person say, okay, I'll do it, and then plan on a few minutes. Like that could be a big issue. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's true, because I think even though to you or to the person it may be something small, it doesn't matter. It matters a lot to the other people, and it creates a lot of tension, right? Or to the other person, and it creates a lot of tension. And I think people don't realize too, sometimes just the way we're brought up, it may not be anything different, but the way my mom raised me versus the way your parents raised you, culturally we may still have a lot in common, but that doesn't mean that there won't be some differences. But so that's great, and that you guys think that more therapy would help, and I think I agree with you guys too. Any advice that you guys would give to newlyweds like yourselves?
Just to be patient, to give it time, because you got to work out the kinks, and statistics show that first year of marriage, a lot of marriages don't make it through the first year.
Very true.
The reason is because of trying to bring two people together, and it just doesn't work because you didn't prepare before enough for marriage. So to just give it time, because it might seem like, why in the world did I marry this person? Like, I made a mistake, but it works itself out until it's like, oh, this is not easy, but we got this. We can do this. You start to learn each other and be able to grow together better. But in the beginning, it's going to be a little rocky.
Yeah,
it's going to be a little
difficult.
Rocky. Yeah.
And I would say, just remember that you're a team. Like, you both are working on the same team. You're not working against each other. A lot of times, and people laugh at me because I delete my social media, bring my social media back up. But
yes, you do.
Listen, sometimes I just have it. Like, I've had enough with social media, just the memes and, just the quotes and stuff. But, a lot of times on social media, you see things like, don't share your money with your husband, or don't share your money with you should have joint accounts, or this is mine, this is hers. And I just feel like once you join together, you get married, it's ours. Everything is ours. We're working together as a team. We have one goal at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's all the same. It's all the same money. It's not my money, her money, or her money, my money, and it's all one goal. If you're working together as a team, it's all.
Because if you want to keep it separate, why did you get married? You know, what was the point? Yeah.
You can't be like, did you pay your light bill? Like,
if the lights go off, listen, we both in the dark.
No, I like that, and I agree with that. I think that's very true. That's great advice. That's great advice. Well, before we go, is there anything else that you guys would want to share?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're amazing. Listen, I just want to say this. Sophia is amazing. Like, throughout our whole process, she was my therapist. You know, I could call her. It doesn't matter what time it is. Like, I just want to thank you because you definitely played a role in us making it down the aisle. When he was getting on my nerves, when we was over there arguing about what color we was going to have the linen and I sit here.
It was an interesting process when we got there. And I, you know what, I could see the love between the two of you. And I know, as a planner, I know that sometimes the day or the marriage gets clouded by the details of the day. And I just didn't want you guys to really get bogged down on that because that was important, but it wasn't the most important thing for the day.
It was the most beautiful wedding I've ever been to. Oh. You know that? Like, the details and all of the stuff that happened, it was just like looking back at the pictures, a lot of it we didn't get to experience, but we had to relive it through pictures and things like that. But it was beautiful. It was really, really beautiful.
Well, you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys too. I really, really do. And I'm really happy that, you know, things are going great for you. And I know life is not perfect, right? But you guys, I think you have the idea of being a team. You guys have that. And I think that's what's important. And as long as you fight for your marriage and you fight for that team and have that team spirit, you guys will be just fine. And keep grounded in your faith. That's utmost importance, right?
Hallelujah.
But thank you guys so much for agreeing to do this. We'll keep checking in with you as long as I'm doing this podcast. I'm going to keep checking in with you.
Hey, milestones. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys continue to stay safe. I'm praying for you guys. I love you guys. And we'll talk later. Right. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Wedding and Beyond podcast. For more advice on planning your wedding and preparing for a successful marriage, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe wherever you're listening. Follow us on Instagram at the Wedding and Beyond podcast and visit our website at royaloccasionsinc.com. Until next time.